So this podcast is on your journey in music and how you got to where you are now.
I love it.
I
Where
love
are you?
the. Sorry,
You?
go ahead.
I was gonna ask where you're based, but I heard you talking about the view. I think.
Oh, San Diego.
Oh, nice. I love
Where are
San.
you?
I'm in Los Angeles.
Okay, it was just like 20 minutes ago. It was just downpouring here.
It has been raining like I would say cats and dogs, but it sounds more like elephants and horses or something. It's been crazy.
Yeah, it's been nuts. And even the other day, I don't know if you got it up there, but it was hailing like massive chunks.
I saw in Malibu it snowed, but
Really? It snowed?
I saw like videos of friends posting like first time in like I don't know 60 years that it snowed in Malibu. It didn't snow
Whoa.
where I live, but it's been raining like crazy.
Yeah, it's been nuts here. It snowed like once in San Diego, and I remember it was on Valentine's Day. Like I was in like fourth grade, maybe third or fourth grade, and like we went to school late, so you could like see it. Like it was, so minuscule. It was like melting as it was landing, but it was a
Right.
big deal when it happened.
It's just fun. It's just like cool because it never happens,
Right, right. That's awesome. So
Yeah.
you're in LA. Are you originally from Los Angeles?
Born and raised in SoCal, like kind of the Orange County area.
Okay, right on.
Yeah. So, but I have like family in LA. So I've been like back and forth, like just, you know, getting to know LA and like visiting them like my whole life. So I feel like it's kind of home. You know what I mean?
Sure, sure, sure. That's cool. That's
Yeah.
really cool.
I
How'd you
love
get into music?
I got a guitar for Christmas, I think when I was like 11 or 12.
Hmm.
And I just kind of picked it up and fell in love with it. We do Christmas even though we're Jewish, and it was just kind of like a fun thing that I got as a gift. And then I just ran away with it. Like I took guitar lessons for maybe a year and a half, 2 years
Hmm.
max. But after that, just kind of started writing songs at like the age of 13. And
Wow.
I don't know, I just like it just felt natural. I wasn't like pursuing it at that age, obviously. I just kind of started it and you
Hmm.
know,
But
people
writing songs, your own songs at 13, that's really awesome.
I think honestly it was kind of more out of like laziness of not wanting to learn other people's songs.
I've heard this story before. I think it's hilarious. Like, I don't feel like learning other people's stuff, so I'm just gonna make up my own things.
Right. Exactly. I mean, like, I don't know, it works. So if you if you like if you like writing it, then why not? You know,
Sure,
that's
sure.
how I,
Well,
how I started.
with that at 13, when you're writing those songs, was it just on acoustic guitar?
It's just a little acoustic guitar, I think from like Bed Bath and Beyond. So it was just
They used to sell guitars.
I think they used to sell guitars. I mean, I didn't know they sold everything, but they're like a little Walmart. They just have everything you could ever need.
That's hilarious. I've
Um,
never seen a guitar in Bed Bath and Beyond, but
I
that's
don't I
amazing.
don't have it anymore. I wish I still had it. It'd be kind of funny to like look at like the labeling on the inside, like guitar from Bed Bath and Beyond.
Yeah, that's hilarious. Well, at like when you're writing these songs, did you have like a goal? Like were you playing live for people? Like were you showing anyone these
I,
songs?
I started showing obviously my family the songs, and they were like, "This doesn't suck," like
Right.
they weren't like, "You should not do that." I mean, they were supportive, and they've been super supportive ever since. But I think at maybe like 15, 14, I started playing coffee shops and just like
Wow. Like
other
open mic
local venues,
nights.
open mic nights exactly, because like I don't know, people kept encouraging like what I was doing, even though I wasn't really doing it at that time. If that makes
Uh-huh.
sense.
No,
Kind of like
sure.
writing songs, and my high school actually had like a garage band thing, not the software, but like a kind of like a garage band
Like
program.
class?
It
Like
was
you
kind
could
of a class, yeah.
that's
It was
rad.
really cool. It was an elective, so like it was like one of those classes that like it could be like pottery or something else. You know what I
Right,
mean?
right. You could just get it's something for credits, so to speak, but like having a
Exactly,
band class, like a legit band class.
exactly,
I've never heard of
exactly. I
that
mean,
before.
it was interesting because like you put 13 kids in a room with instruments and it's going to be a little chaotic. But, but like
Did they
that
have like rock kit? Like it was like a drum kit, bass,
it
guitars,
was the
and
whole
like a PA.
it was the whole thing.
Wow. Did you like start a band with those kids that you were playing in that class with?
Not really. I mean, we did stuff for the class, learning songs and playing it together and trying to get it, sounding like a decent little ensemble. And we had like I think a semi-annual concert at the school every year.
Oh, cool.
So we got to like perform that. But that was just, I think being in that environment kind of helped like show me like, you could actually like perform for people or,
Right.
do this here, do this there. And that was another form of encouragement, because like I feel like a lot of artists and songwriters get encouragement from their family pretty young,
Sure.
but then like
Yeah.
outside of that is kind of an important step to like being, oh, I should maybe go to the coffee shop and see if I can like
Pursue it.
just see what other people think.
Mhm. Yeah, well, that's cool. With the performances in that class, I'm just curious, were
Yeah.
it was all covers, or did
That,
people perform original songs?
that was all covers, and I think I remember just I can kind of look back and remember that I was like less interested in the covers and more interested in just making things.
Mhm.
Um, Probably again out of laziness and not wanting to learn other people's songs.
Right. Were
But
you the singer and guitar player in the band?
I sang and played guitar in the band. Yeah. Yeah.
That's because you have a great voice, man. I'm sure you were like miles ahead of everybody else in your class.
I mean, there's a lot of talent in the class. I mean, everybody's got their own unique style, whether it's guitar or vocals or whatever. And I guess,
Sure.
ever since then, people have dug mine as far as
Uh-huh.
the music goes and stuff, which is just the craziest and most fortunate thing. But yeah.
That's awesome. Well, from that band or from that class in playing coffee shops, what was the next step for you creatively?
Um, I think creatively, I got like I tried to learn to produce myself,
Okay.
and it didn't really go so well.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was like, I don't know, 16 at the time, so I couldn't really learn how to like produce this song. So my mom helped me get like a recording studio and have somebody like try to track the guitar and the vocals and make it all sound pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
And we got a couple songs that sounded like something, but it was nothing that I would ever like want to show somebody
Release.
today. I mean, some people still ask me like, what happened to those things that you had on like SoundCloud years ago? But I think they're in the vault for now.
Sure. So that's where it started. You were putting songs up on SoundCloud?
I think it honestly might have been iTunes back then, like literally uploading it and then having the price be like $1 or $1.29.
Oh, right, right. Okay.
But yeah, that's kind of where that started, create like the next step creatively. And then I went to UCLA for school,
Okay.
not for
That's
music,
huge. Not for
but
music?
not for music, but I just kept doing music, like playing the school talent show, which was in front of like 10,000 people every year.
Wow. 10,000?
Yeah, just doing like all the things that I could, honestly, while I was still pursuing an education, obviously. But I think um, it was like my soph or maybe junior year at UCLA that I met some people that kind of showed me how to turn it into a career,
Okay.
into a life, beyond like just writing and playing like every couple weeks and not
Mm-hmm.
taking it too seriously.
Were these like other people who went to the school or just people you met outside of going to UCLA?
People I met outside. Yeah. So I
Okay.
actually took a trip to Nashville. I think it was my sophomore or junior year. And there met some people that kind of opened some doors for me and kind of taught me like, or not taught me, but showed me how like they had made lives out of music.
Right. I've heard the story of people going my family's moving to Nashville in like 2 weeks. But
Really.
yeah, but people, did you go there with a purpose or did you like with knowing people? Like everyone's like, I just went to Nashville and then it's like I feel like you just show up there and then what do you do?
It's such a cliche story, and like you could never go there expecting something, but I feel like there are so many stories where somebody goes there and something happens.
Right, right.
You know
That's
what
what
I
I'm
mean?
curious. Like, well, did you have like a connection or a contact there? I guess is my question.
So I met somebody while I was playing at a rooftop bar in Santa Monica when I was like 15, and
Okay.
we just kind of kept in touch forever. And eventually, they introduced me to somebody who worked in top 40 radio in Nashville,
Mm-hmm.
and she kind of like set up a couple meetings with publishers out there and a couple sessions and
Okay.
a couple gigs as well. And at one of the gigs, I met somebody who like was like kind of like a big brother, turned into a big brother kind of role for me, and introduced me to other songwriters and like wrote a song with me. And it was like
Oh,
one of
rad.
my first like sessions in LA.
That's
And
awesome.
he invited me to a writing camp in Italy, and just kind of like from all that stuff
Wow.
that happened in Nashville, like the music, I decided, I'm at UCLA studying things, but I don't know if I'm gonna take the degree and try to go look for a job after school.
Sure. Did you end up finishing at UCLA?
Yeah, no, I finished. I finished.
Oh, right on. And so all while pursuing this dream of a music career. And then how do you get hooked up? Like, were you putting music out on your own prior to, working with all these DJ and EDM artists, right? Because you sing on a bunch of their records.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't really realize like how much fun that would be until I started doing it, and until I started collaborating with other artists and writers and DJs. But like that obviously has turned into a large part of my career so far.
Mhm. So how did you, you just met them networking?
I think I met some networking, some reached out, over SoundCloud or Instagram. Somebody, will just send you a text like, hey, you should work with my friend who like, works on Ableton, like, or just does all these cool things. And I'm like, oh, that sounds so cool, 6 years ago.
Right. And then you would just do whatever, kind of just do work as you could. I mean, as far as like saying yes to everything, so to speak.
Pretty much. I mean, I think it's hard to like be so hungry and also want to like figure out what your like strong suit is and what your style is. So like, you want to say yes to as many things, but also not like dilute what you're doing.
Sure.
And it's a fine line that I'm still kind of like, excuse me, like balancing on, because there's so many, you could work, 16 hours a day and find more opportunities, but it's not always, worth either party's time,
Right. That makes sense.
So yeah, I think in the last year, it's been a lot about kind of finding the people that I really connect with and the songs that mean the most to work on, like even like to give to other people or to help with, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, totally. Was that like because working with other artists and DJs and stuff and singing on their records, were you always still pursuing your own like solo career at that point, or was it just kind of collaborating and working with them?
Yeah, it was kind of both. Like the vocal feature thing and the working with DJs thing really kind of helped launch like me as a songwriter. Not saying I'm any big name at the moment or yet, but
dude, you got a lot of streams, man, on Spotify. So don't sell yourself short.
I'm a worst critic. I look at the stars and I like think that's
Yeah, you're like, oh, well, Halsey has 1 billion plays on that one song. It's like, well, yeah, of course she does.
And now she's pregnant, which is
I know.
Cool. But anyways, we were talking about my artist project. So like while I was doing the feature stuff, or at least mostly doing that, I was still writing stuff that felt like it could only be for me, as I think a lot of songwriters and other vocalists and artists do. And we just kind of held on to those songs, like my team and I, and waited for the right time to start kind of not moving the focus, but shifting the focus from exclusively feature to like, trying to do some that align with the artist project, but also focusing on the artist project, which is kind of like really the main thing that I'm working on at the moment.
Very cool. Yeah, I just watched the video earlier for Chasing Highs. It's such a rad video, like the zombies and the. I'm sorry.
I said it was so fun. I just love that video.
Yeah, it's so cool. Well, tell me where you were when like coronavirus hit, and how did that affect your musical career?
I mean, I feel like, it's been the craziest time for everybody, obviously.
Sure.
For so many reasons, like happy, sad, everything in between. I think, well, just for me, like I signed a publishing deal like a week before the whole thing kind of blew up.
Wow. Okay. Well, tell me about the publishing deal. How did that happen before we get to this coronavirus?
Another long story short, one of the guys I met in Italy ended up linking me to somebody who managed a DJ that wanted a song I had written. And then he ended up being interested in me because, we just got along.
You wrote the song? Yeah.
Wrote the song, we got along well. And then we just started talking and we liked the vibe and we had the same kind of vision and we decided to make it official and put a ring on it.
That's cool. Right on. So that happened, you said a week prior to COVID?
I think it was like honestly like a week. Yeah, not a lot of time.
And then and so this is in March when this happens?
Yeah.
And did you have like did you have like like a rollout plan or a bunch of songs you're going to put out like throughout the course of 2020 with shows, or how did that work?
For 2020, the plan was more, and ended up still being, more focused on songwriting.
Okay.
Was developing out, that side of what I do, and getting to meet new people, and just really diving in, because it was like kind of my first and a half year of like really full time being a songwriter.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the main focus for 2020, and it ended up still being, just obviously in a different format.
Different. Yeah, sure. Okay, so you were home and you signed this deal, and then coronavirus hits. And do you spend like the past year just writing and writing and writing and writing? Like
Just
what?
writing, producing, Zoom sessions, a lot of Zoom.
How is that?
It
Interesting.
it's interesting. It's sometimes super, super awesome, because like when like there's a couple people that I work with in particular that when we're working on Zoom, like there's no distractions. Like when you're in the room, like you can say, "Oh my God, like do you want to go get, a snack?" Or like, "Do you want
Right. I
to go
go to the bathroom or I got to do this.
get a
Yeah.
bottle of wine," or whatever it is.
Right. I got to go smoke a cigarette or yeah, whatever.
Exactly, exactly. I mean, I don't smoke, but
Neither do I, but I know that that's a thing when you're in those studios.
exactly. So like for some of those people that I work with, like you end up getting a really cool experience and product out of it, because
Uh-huh.
it feels like really, really refined, like just focused. Like I'm looking at the screen, you're looking at the screen, we're just writing a song, you know. But then
Sure.
obviously, like there are sometimes like when you're meeting somebody new that it can be just difficult to get that same connection that you would like in person, you know.
Hmm. Yeah, it's
So
you're not able to vibe as much off of them because it's through a computer screen or
naturally, I mean, I
yeah.
feel like it's the same way with like online dating right now. It's like I'm not like zooming people that I'm interested in dating, but like if I were to be, I would imagine it's not quite the same as like going out with somebody.
Right, right, right. Exactly. Like, okay, have a Zoom date. That's pretty funny. I haven't thought about that one yet.
Maybe that's something that we should start trying to do.
Right, right. Well, so you've released a few like Leave Me Low and You and Me Now. Those are your songs, right?
Yeah, my songs with Devault, and then one is Devault and Manilla Killa.
Okay. And then with the most recent one, Chasing Highs, that's just you,
That's
correct?
me. Yeah, you're right.
Okay. And is that going to be is that the only song that you've put out recently that's just you on it?
That's the first single. It's the only one that's just me right now.
Okay.
And already remixed that one actually.
Yeah, I did see that. That's rad. I loved the original version and the video as well. Like tell me about that song and why you chose that as the like lead single.
It just, again, like with this artist project and the songs, like it all, one thing I wanted to stress with, myself, for myself, and like with my team, was just that it would be natural and not forced,
Mm-hmm.
and not like overthought, if that makes sense. Because I know it's
No,
so
sure.
so easy to spend like a year thinking about how to release a song or this or that, and like, you get bogged down by it, you spend too much time on it, and then a year later you're like, I don't even love the song anymore.
Right. I'm over it at this point. Sure.
Yeah, exactly. So we've been like not collecting, but like, holding on to a few songs that felt really good for me and felt really like me. And then my buddy Johan was in LA from Sweden, and we wrote Chasing Highs, and we were like, this really feels like only me, feels like something we are gonna like in a year, and we should
Mhm.
just put it out. So that song actually kind of started the whole train. Like was the snowball that turned into the avalanche a little bit. And
Okay.
it motivated us to get the project rolling, and to just start putting out the songs that we have been keeping, on our hard drives for so long.
Right, right. Well, after Chasing Highs, are you gonna put out like? I mean, you obviously have more songs, but is there gonna be like a full EP, or are you gonna put a record out? What are you thinking?
I don't know if it'll be an EP or not, but we have, or I have my next single, Too Lovely, coming out on the 3rd, which is coming Wednesday.
Awesome.
Super excited about that one.
What's that one sonically like? Is it similar to Chasing Highs?
It's similar in the sense that like it feels, there's like some acoustic elements, like it's a very piano driven song,
Oh, rad. The other
but
one's just pretty much acoustic guitar, right? And you?
really, really heavy acoustic guitar.
Yeah.
And then I think though that one is kind of different in that it's like more like James Blake, Bon Iver inspired.
Oh, cool. Really cool.
it's a little bit more like, I don't know, my take on like progressive singer songwriter, if you will,
Uh-huh.
because
Yeah.
I did that one all by myself, and it just feels like a really true like kind of like testament to myself and what I do. But
Mm-hmm.
really
That's
excited,
amazing.
really excited for that one. The music video is coming out a week later, and
Awesome.
yeah, it's gonna
Well,
be.
I love the video that you did, like I said earlier, for Chasing Highs. Were you able to shoot that during the lockdown and everything?
We did that during COVID. We did it as safely as possible. Um, Everybody had masks on, distance, outdoors, like
Yeah.
got tested. Like did obviously I know people have different opinions about whether that's kosher or not, but we were okay with it, and everybody was okay with it. Uh,
Mhm.
and it was a lot of fun to make. It was just one day of shooting, like 7 to 7, 12 hours straight.
Wow.
Um,
What
Makeup,
about
the makeup was crazy to put on.
Yeah, I was gonna say, was that your face looked gnarly in the thing.
Yeah, that was actually just me with no coffee. They didn't have to put any makeup.
Ah, that's awesome. Well, the video, where'd you guys shoot that? That looks like it looked like the devil, what Devil's Rejects,
Just like some kind of crazy movie
like
scene.
some Rob Zombie movie scene.
It felt like that. It was actually in Topanga, in like close to Malibu. I don't know if
Oh,
you're.
sure. Yeah, I know Topanga.
There's like a canyon there, and we found an Airbnb that we rented for I think the day, and then
Okay.
we had the crew there and the makeup crew and the storyline written out, and we just got it done.
Amazing. Yeah, it's great. And then what about the second video you have coming out?
The
Can you tell
second
us
one
anything? The one
uh,
that you have coming out in a couple weeks?
looks very different from the first one.
Okay.
First, like the one was shot on a 16 millimeter film, so it kind of gave it that like Wes Anderson, like
Right.
old school feel to it. The second one was actually shot in this room, in my bedroom, and
Wow.
we had like a lot of really cool visual effects going on, and there's like an interesting storyline there as well. I don't want to give like too
Yeah,
much away,
sure. But
but it's really colorful, really like expressive, and I think it fits the song really well.
I love that. I can't wait to see it. And
Thank
thank you so much for doing this today. I really appreciate it.
Really appreciate you having me. I love talking about this stuff.
Awesome, man. Well, tell me, I have one more question for you. Do you have
Yeah.
any advice for aspiring artists?
Um, my advice to anybody in anything creative, not that I can speak for like painting or anything, but like my advice for anybody trying to pursue songwriting or an artist career is kind of the same advice that I give to myself every day, or at
Uh-huh.
least try to give to myself, which is like you just have to be authentic and make sure that it connects with you, because it's really really easy to look at what other people are doing and try to copy it or try to beat it, and it's very frustrating when it doesn't work because it's not you.
Sure.
And I think like not as long as, but like when you find something that you connect with and that feels like true to yourself, it ends up being good, and other people resonate with it, ironically enough, because like the most unique things to yourself end up speaking to other people in some weird way.
Mhm.
So I think that's like my advice.
Bringing it backward.